only thing that I liked about this is that people have started to actually realize what the hell we've been doing to ourselves for way too long. Like, we've been sitting here putting our dollars into these companies, and it's what's been stripping the black dollar out of the community.
Right.
So we need to start redirecting. We start redirecting our money. Meaning, if you're worried about expensive clothes, if you're worried about clothing, then you need to make your own clothes. Provide clothing for us. Everybody's talking about, well, let's bring back FUBU and let's bring back Wu Wear and all this shit like that. And I'm like,
that was still not owned technically all by us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not for nothing, you know, I had some FUBU shit. I fucked with FUBU.
And that's cool. It's cool if you wanna buy something that represents us and you want to show off something that represents us. That's cool and everything like that. But it's a bigger picture even than that, because when you talking about distribution, you need to talking about who's buying the clothing and where are they selling it from. Because if you end up buying it from a white owned store, they're still winning.
They're still winning. Yeah,
I like that. It's just a small percentage of us that get a piece of the pie, but on a large scale, we all still lose. So, but I feel like there has been a sort of transition in the mind state. Like, yo, we don't need to be buying this shit.
I mean, there has,
we've been brainwashed for so long. We've been psychologically fucked for so long that it's not even going to matter. A couple of weeks from now, we're gonna be like, look, I need to go back to looking. I need to go back to getting the privileged look.
Right.
I need to look privileged. I need to look like I'm something in order to be something, and it's so fucking stupid.
It's not, you know, because I'm gonna say this. There's somebody Well, no, somebody commented and said that black people won't support black business. It's not that we won't support black business. It's that I think
we don't even have black business.
Yeah, what we need to do is focus on the right black businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely believe, like, I have a friend, my homegirl Tamika, right? She has a fantastic, all natural, organic body chemistry company that makes fucking toothpaste and soaps and lotions and all that out of natural ingredients with no chemicals, and she's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? And I support her business because her business is fucking fantastic. It's good, and it teaches how to be healthy without ramming it down your throat. She actually has something called Camp Wakanda, where she's teaching kids about science and from in a way that they can relate to it. Black kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's something we need to do. We need to support businesses
where is her business?
She's located in Brooklyn.
Okay.
She's located in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Is she doing good? Is her business doing well, or is it?
So as far as I can see, yes, it is. From what I can see, she's doing very well because she's smart enough to know how to market, and she's savvy enough to know that it takes more than just marketing. You also need that word of mouth, and like somebody like me who's used her product, and I can clear, like, her deodorant. I put that shit on a Monday. I could shower all week and still didn't need to put on more deodorant. You know why? Because I still smelled like that good lemongrass and mango butter. Like, and those are businesses that we need to support. We need to support businesses that actually do something for our community. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama go to church Sunday. Huh?
But that's my thing. That's my thing. There's not enough black. There aren't any black products to, let alone black locations to buy the stuff. Like she said, we don't support black businesses. We don't even start black businesses.
No,
and the people that should be starting these black businesses, or at least getting the people up off of their feet,
right,
are too busy out here buying Gucci.
Right. And that's why I say.
So then the problem is that the people from the bottom are supposed to start supposed to basically start the revolution of black business, but we can't look at them like they are like they're capable or they're good for us, because we don't believe you're official. We don't believe you're official unless you have some white money behind you. Where's the large distribution?
And that's a sad.
Who's buying it with me? Am I going to be the only person buying your product? That's a huge deterrent in supporting black movies.
But you have to get out of that negative mindset.
The brainwash is there. That's where the brainwash is. It's in the distribution. It's in the it's in the real estate. It's
right, but you
not
have
really. There's a whole lot of black products out there that's capable of being bought. You can there's a website called Buying Black, where you can buy only black laundry detergent, soaps, all that stuff can be distributed. You don't even need a store.
Right.
But is it official? Because is it on the level of Tide?
I mean, well, here's the thing.
And what is Tide?
All right, hold on. Hold on.
Tide really that fucking good?
No. Because the truth of the matter is this. You use Tide because that's what they market to you. You see commercials for Tide. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We see commercials for Tide. You see commercials for Downy. But you know what? There are all natural ingredients derived from nature that you could utilize to clean your motherfucking laundry all the time. And I know for a fact that there is that any fucking black person out there that's ever fucking got the big jug of shea butter from the homie on the Ave knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Why ain't peppermint soap mainstream by now?
Peppermint soap is mainstream. We sell it at Walmart. It's called Dr. Bronner's. The brand is Dr. Bronner's. The brand is Miss Myers. But what we need to do is start talking to the people who run businesses and want to get more distribution, which means word of mouth, which means we as consumers have to request that these products are bought into these mega chain stores, because mom and pop businesses are pretty much almost over with simply because of places like Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Because of places like Sam's Club, because of places like BJ's, like there's not many mom and pop shops out. However,
all right, so boom. So that looks so now that what sounds like is, where's the black advertising? So is the sister that you talked about having her own shop and stuff like that, is she able to advertise for or able to is she able to advertise for another black business? Couldn't she put her money into the Bronner, into the peppermint soap?
No, because Dr. Bronner's is already owned by somebody else. What it's incumbent upon us to do is to get her products. What it's incumbent upon us to do is to get her products into these stores. You know what I'm saying? By showing a demand.
The consumer can't be the advertiser.
The consumer is the advertiser, because the consumer is the one spending the money. That's what market research is all about. You know what I'm saying? The consumer is the one who can get.
If they're the user, they can't be the one publicly putting out what it is that they're buying. They're too busy using it.
If that were the case, then there wouldn't be Instagram trendsetters or what do they call them people on Instagram?
I just seen them pumping the bacon Big Mac in a commercial with a bunch of people that do not eat McDonald's. I know for a fact that these people do not eat McDonald's, and they're going like this. They're biting air.
Right.
Biting air. They're not, like, you know what I'm saying? It don't be the consumer that's pumped.
But no, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We have to have a paradigm shift. It has to be the consumer who are the ones who are getting our products in the doors. You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that, we need to use our revenue with those people, because what happens is the more these big chains see that their dollars are being spent elsewhere, they're going to want to know why those dollars are being spent elsewhere. And then what they're going to want to do is do their research and find out where those dollars are going. And if we're putting all our dollars into black-owned businesses, you know what I'm saying, or businesses that support our community, then they're going to have no choice but to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is simply this: recognize that everybody and their mama gonna go to church on Sunday and tie 10% of their earnings for this week at that damn church. But then we're gonna ask ourselves, what exactly is that church gonna do for the community? Because I always ask this: if you can't pay your rent, they might take up a collection, but is the church actually gonna go in its coffers and actually offer you money? You know what I'm saying? Say, you know what? Forget the new archway and the new addition to the damn next wing we need. Let's get Mrs. Johnson her fucking let's get Mrs. Johnson her mortgage paid off. You know what I'm saying? What we need to do is start looking out for our own.
That's a whole
nother episode. No, you're right.
Because the church could handle the black advertising if you wanted to put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And I would personally love to see. I know Diddy has his own. He's having his own channel, the Revolt TV and all that shit like that. But I would love to see Jay and Diddy buy BET back, and then be able to promote black businesses, like, you know what I'm saying, on a large scale level.
Well, but BET is owned by Viacom,
and be able to get that stuff out.
Yeah. Well, you want to know something funny?
It's Viacom. I thought it's like Viacom, then MTV, then.
But MTV is a part of Viacom. MTV is a part of Viacom. You know, actually owns a black dude. Actually owns the Weather Channel. A black dude is actually he created it.
I thought he.
Oh yeah, and he runs it. It's a black dude running the Weather Channel. You know what I'm saying? So we need, but. As far as advertising, like I say,
we don't pump that shit neither. Like we pump things we pump their stuff way better than we pump our shit.
Certainly, because in our mind, in our brainwashed, addled mind, we see their products as superior because we think that if it has this name on it, then it's gonna be higher value or higher cost, and we have to put higher value into ourselves. We have to stop seeing ourselves as inferior. It's a concept of self-hatred that allows us to see other bodies of work as superior. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let's be honest here. There's not a thing on this planet that would be around if it wasn't for a black person. For example, who invented the light bulb?
Say it again.
Who invented the light bulb?
Who invented the light bulb? I don't know.
Yeah. Every popular answer would be Thomas Edison. But I guarantee you that most folks have never heard of Lewis Latimer. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you most folks have never heard of Lewis Latimer, who was a black man from Queens who actually invented the monofilament that allowed the light bulb to light up. Problem is, he's black. He couldn't get a patent because he was not considered to be a whole human being. You know what I'm saying? So Thomas Edison got the patents for them and then put his name on everything. That's why most people know Thomas Edison as the creator of the light bulb, but that's not entirely true. When you start looking at history, you know what I'm saying, you realize how things have been glossed over. So now you've got blackface with whitewashing, and automatically you have an inferior view of yourself because you don't know how powerful you truly are. You know what I'm saying? And that's something we have to start doing. We have to start speaking truth to power to our people. Mark put up a post the other day talking about who supports his music and shit. I know I got a copy of his joints because I support my brother. But let's be honest, did I advertise as much as I could have? Probably not. Did I share his shit every opportunity I had? I tried to, but I can't say all of a sudden I certainly did. You know what I'm saying? And what I think that does is it says to me that, yo, we actually do have to support one another a lot better. You know what I'm saying? We have to support one another. My brother Vega has one of the dopest records out from the last 2 years that I've ever heard, his Jesus Muhammad joint. And that shit is getting played. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking amazing. But we also have to support each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm writing a book. I'm writing 2 books, actually. You know what I'm saying? One is a self-help book. Be on the lookout for Just to Be Frank. You know what I'm saying? It's going to change your life. You know what I mean? But be on the lookout for Breed. We're going to scare the shit out of you. But we have to support one another. And what that means is stop looking for a handout, pay the money. And then we also have to stop looking at any and everything as a reason to separate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We have to show distinction for ourselves. And that's something different than separating ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? We have to show reverence for our body of work and our thoughts and ideas and bring those things into action. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for any minority. You know what I'm saying? That goes for any minority. Whether you're a woman, black, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you have a thought in your head, you need to share that shit and somehow make it happen. And we need to support these minorities, whether they're black, women. That's hold on one second. Let me pause for a second. Yo, Kasami, that is a different conversation because I don't know nothing about no damn Jussie Smollett. I don't know nothing about that really. I don't care. I'm sorry. That's not like I hope he wasn't attacked. I don't want nobody to be attacked for their sexual orientation, but that's not my.
Hold on, real quick. They said the dude had a rope around his neck.
I don't listen. I don't know. I don't know the facts. I can't speak on that intelligently. I can't speak on that intelligently. Like I can't speak on that intelligently. I don't have
video. I need video. And now they saying that he brought up some bullshit police report that the police looked at and was like, man, you can make this whole because it can be like it could have been it could have been edited or whatever and made to be whatever it was, and then he brung that shit into the police.
That's right. That's possible.
I'm like, dog, if I don't see no video of that, you get fucked up. You probably got yelled at because you know how the gay community is. They go a little extra when they feel they've been disrespected. So it's like, yo, you didn't call me ma'am. So now I gotta act like you slapped me in the face.
But now here's the thing. Now here's the thing. Now let's take that level of. Listen, like I said, I can't say that intelligently. You know what I'm saying, or with anything, because and I'll be dead honest here, and this is something I never thought I'd be able to say. I have way too many gay friends to be able to speak on that without any, with intelligence. I wouldn't know exactly how.
I have just as many gay friends with you as you, and I have gay family, and they all feel the same way. Like, yo, they're just taking it too far.
Right.
They're just doing too much. A lot of times when they're trying to gain attention, it's just way unnecessary. And you don't need to be
agree. And I know, yo, Keith Frazier, that's another thing that I'm not. Well, that's why my kids gonna be homeschooled. But they but my thing is this: like I said, see, things like that don't matter.
They won
to me.
They won already. They won already. Why are we still doing this? Why are we still talking about this?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I wanted to say I want to say this: the gay community sticks together, right? The black community does not. Mm-hmm. If the community acted, the gay community have any problem.
Been saying that for decades. We need to be like them. We need to be a little bit like them because we are
we need to take a page from our LGBTQ brothers and sisters
together. They don't stick together. Like about what y'all talking about. They have one They got one message, and they stick to that shit. And
yes, they do.
It doesn't matter what you say about it. It doesn't matter what you say about it.
Right.
Will yell, scream, and fight their way into your living room with that shit. Black people, it's always that one dude. Right. It's always that one dude that be like, man, fuck all that shit. Like, well, they not all like that. They not all against us, but we can't look at white people like they all against us. No. And that one person will fuck the entire thing up. And they'll do it on a large scale, and they'll do it on a large platform too, to the point where it's like, yo, fuck it, we can't.
Well, we don't care anymore. That's what I'm saying.
So then we go back to the oppressed lifestyle that we have, and then it's over.
Right. And the truth
don't
is,
have that. They don't have one person. They don't have one person to oppose whatever issue that they're trying to get across. Women are doing the same thing. Women stick together. They have one message and they'll stick to that shit. Even though they're looking real bad right now, because a lot of their falsities are getting exposed, they still don't care. They're still gonna come at you left and right with their rhetoric, and that's that. Black people, we don't have rhetoric. We try to have rhetoric, but our rhetoric is actually pointless. Like it has nothing to stand on. So a lot of times when we talk, we have nothing to stand on.
Grand enough. It's not grand enough. You know what I'm saying? Well, because basically, it's not. And the truth is,
you're right.
It's not grand enough. Well, what it is we all, like, in all honesty and fairness, let's just call a spade a spade. There should be no such thing as fighting for separate rights. Like, there should be no such thing as gay rights or black rights or white. Like, everybody should have the same fucking rights. Everybody. Across the board.
No, this isn't that kind of country. This is not that kind of country.
And that's,
we do not
that's the problem.
Like in any other country, they have their specific group of people there. This is America, where there's a melting pot. There's a melting pot of people. You have Chinese, Asians, gays, whites, blacks, women. Everybody has a say. So everybody else is sitting there displaying what matters to them.
Right. But does everybody have a say? Does everybody have a say? Do we?
Yes,
seriously?
You're not watching it? Everybody has a say.
Everybody but us, apparently.
Everybody else is finding a way to have a say.
Right. And everybody should be equal.
I would say what appears to me as our say is, please. Please let us do this. Please, can we have this? Please leave us alone. But we're the ones out here on our knees begging for shit. Everybody else is like, yo, y'all gonna do it what the fuck we say, and that be that. The gays use the political avenue to really get their point across. If you don't fuck with their shit, they're not voting for you.
We're not voting for you.
There's a large community. There's a large community, and they ended up becoming like 40% of your vote, to the point where if you said something, you ain't even got
to pay attention to the Jews no more.
We don't have anything. We don't have anything.
You don't even got to do that no more.
We don't have anything legitimately to stand on, even though we do have all those things to stand on. We should be as strong as anybody, as any other group in this country. We should, but because we're so decisive, and we have no real message. We have no real message besides the begging. We don't do anything, even though we know that financially we have a leg to stand on. Politically, we have a leg to stand on. We don't use them.
Yeah, because think about it like this.
We do not stand together at all. We don't bring our dollar together.
Not only,
we know we have power and dollar. We've demonstrated how our dollar
but it goes further beyond that. It goes beyond that, because think about it. How many people do you know are informed? Like, everybody and their mama knows Trump. But who the fuck is your local district attorney? You know what I'm saying? Who's your city councilman? You know what I mean? Who's your alderman? Like, do you know these people? Who's the judge on the federal bench that's in your community? Do you know these people? Or did you have a hand in voting for them? Because if you don't even know who these people are, then you're not participating properly.
Fuck those people.
You have to know the president. You got to vote more than every 4 years.
Who cares?
You have to know these things, because this is how legislation gets written. You have to know these things. This is why that Alexandria Ocasio, that young lady is.
It doesn't matter who's in what seat, because at the end of the day, there's a game plan written out, and they're going to execute it. And no matter what it is, from public officials to big wigs in Congress, there's already a game plan written out. You're going to follow it. Do you see? If they have what it takes to read into it and figure out, well, I can alter it this way, or I can alter it that way, which mostly what they deal with is budgeting. But they all,
and who gets?
it's already laid out. It's already laid out.
And who gets most of the budget?
Nobody's changing anything. It's just who's going to be the face of it. Who's going to fall victim to the shit that they're already about to do?
Even the best laid plans have to throw a monkey wrench in sometimes in order to get a different result.
You can't throw a monkey wrench in this system. This system is run the way that it's run. It's never going to change.
All right, so then I'll tell you what. Then let's play radical for a second. Let's put Frank in office somewhere.
It's dumb. It's dumb to worry about politics. Like unless we're using it as a fear tactic, it doesn't matter who's in these seats.
The parlor tricks. The parlor tricks. I use politics. Parlor tricks means the same thing. Parlor tricks. You know what I'm saying? But here's now let's throw a monkey wrench into the works. Let's say somebody like me gets in office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now that's a monkey wrench in their works because now I have a bit more power. And if I wield my power properly, I can finagle my way through more and more. Right? Like I said, somebody like me.
What if you got in and then you realized, oh shit, I can't do these things that I thought I was capable of doing?
I don't believe that's it. My mind doesn't work that way. My mind doesn't work that way. My mind doesn't work that way. I don't believe anything in Cantor. Do you remember Mr. Lagon? Remember Mr. Lagon? Remember that fucking phrase he had at the top of his classroom? Can't is a curse word. I take it hard. I never say those words myself. The word can't does not exist to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that yes, we know that the parlor tricks are indeed a smoke screen. We know the parlor tricks is a smoke screen. But what happens when you throw somebody a little radical into the mix who doesn't give a fuck about their smoke?
We just did.
We didn't.
Radical. We do somebody radical in the
no. You threw somebody highly unintelligent and not savvy.
He can't do shit either.
You threw somebody who is unintelligent and not savvy enough to be able to cover up their dirty dealings. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so that's the difference.
He aspired to be a dictator. He wanted to run shit the way he wanted to run shit, and he realized
and it doesn't work that way.
He realized
so you have to learn to play the game. You have to learn to play the game. There's rules to the game, but that doesn't mean the rules can't be altered. It doesn't mean that the rules can't be a little changed.
Yeah,
you know it's called the Constitution. But you have to do it. But you have to do it in a way.
It's called laws. These things have been written already. You can't change them.
It's not about changing them. It's about finding a way to create new ones that favor us.
You don't have enough time. By the time you figure something out, there's somebody waiting to take your seat.
And you got to fight for it.
And then you're too busy. Trying to keep people happy because they're the ones that's going to determine if you're back or not. So while you think that you're about to execute your master plan, then you realize you don't have time to do that. You don't have time to execute your master plan. You're in this seat temporarily.
Now think about this.
You know, you're gone.
Now think about it. That is a negative.
This system can't be adjusted.
That's a pessimistic view. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's highly accurate, but it is the pessimistic view. You know what I'm saying? I choose to go a different route in the way I see things. Perception is reality. My perception is somebody like me, who is uncorruptible to them, only has the mindset that my agenda needs to get across. However, I have to do it without sacrificing my morals. Now, luckily, I'm a villain, so my morals and values aren't that many. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little like I said.
You don't think that if you start, if they start realizing what you're actually capable of,
they're gonna come after me.
Thinking and stuff.
They're gonna come after me.
They're gonna be like, "Yo, you're not running. They're not even gonna let you run."
They don't have a choice. I'm a free citizen.
It'll be everybody against you. Kick you out.
That's fine. Right, those are great odds because
let's get somebody back in here that believes in what we believe in.
Well, but now here's the thing. If that's their response, then that means I'm doing something right. That's how I see it. If that's their response, then I'm striking fear into the hearts of criminals and cowards. and that's a good thing. And I consider criminals and cowards to be everybody in Congress and Senate and all that type shit.
As long as you can go home, as long as you can go home, look in the mirror, and say, you know what, I didn't fold, I didn't crumble.
but now let's go back.
I didn't back down from the motherfuckers.
And now here's the thing. And now let's go back to the blackface controversy. All right. So now to swing it back to that. Now, if we recognize the power that we have in the community, and it is about community, and it's about equality. So if we recognize the power we have, right? We have to find a way to make to sway others into that direction. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that people can't be led. It's just that you have to be telling them something that's worth hearing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of that is necessary for us in order to fix things in our community. Because we're gonna have to learn to be symbiotic in our approach. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in the community has to pull their weight, from the hustle man all the way up to the dude who owns the stores. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to play their part, because it's a community, it's an ecosystem, it's its own type of ecosystem. And in our communities, we have to recognize the realities of what we have. You know what I'm saying? But remember, in the 80s, one of the things we tried to do was get rid of crack, get rid of heroin, get rid of all that shit. We don't care if you smoke weed, I don't give a fuck. But we tried to get rid of those things. You know what I'm saying? Remember, like, fucking EPMD and fucking KRS-One was talking about getting drugs out of the community. You know what I'm saying? We weren't able, and I remember somebody saying this, like, they didn't serve the school kids, pregnant women, shit like that. Somehow the game changed.
We have all the avenues to reach the people, and we use those. Absolutely.
No, we don't. We don't. What we do, but we don't use them as efficiently as we could. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, there's my dude Kevin Livingston. You know what I'm saying? He's his program 100 Suits. And what he basically does, what he does is provide guidance to young brothers in Rikers Island and other at-risk programs, and shows them how to stand up and be men. Tie a tie. Stand up for yourself. Stand on your own too, and recognize that what you were doing isn't what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And and sometimes all it takes is somebody to get in your ear that tells you some positive shit that you need to hear.
And that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna shit on it, because that's great. But you know what? No one, like, that's not a popular opinion in the Black community.
And we have to change the perception to make that a popular opinion.
It's not gonna be looked upon. It's not gonna be looked upon as something that people are going to follow. People are going to value and stuff like that. Because, you know what I'm saying, the things that are popular to us are destructive. So when you start talking, when you start doing things like that are productive in the resurrection of the Black man and in the Black community, the community is going to look at that person like, what are you doing? Like, this ain't what's hot. This ain't what's popping right now. And that brother is like, yo, nah, I don't even care about if it's popular or not. This is just what's necessary. So but now he's just doing it.
Well, let's
how far can he really go? Like, how long is that shit gonna really last? How much money does he have to keep pumping that shit going? When it's something that has been started that should probably go on for decades and go on for decades. It should never stop, because it will always be needed.
Of course.
How long will this shit last? Who else is gonna come in with him? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna partner in with him to help turn 100 suits into 1,000 suits, turn 1,000 suits into 10,000 suits?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It takes people like us to be able to change the perception in order to change the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it like this. Remember back in the days, you hear how I speak. Remember, I used to get dissed and played for that shit. You talking white. Why? Because I speak with distinction and intelligence? You know what I'm saying? We have to stop looking at intelligence as a crutch in the Black community. We have to stop looking at manners and values as a crutch in the black community. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what
we
I'm
have to stop looking.
saying.
But now here's the thing. Like I said, it takes for us to alter the perception. Remember, back in the days, geeks and nerds weren't cool. Now the motherfuckers is the shit. You know why? Because they're fucking smart. Because you need people like that. You need that asshole. You need that smart asshole who's gonna tell you, no, do it this way. You know what I'm saying? And it takes people like us who have influence in our community. We have influence because right now there's only 4 people watching, but I noticed throughout this whole thing, there's been mad people that checked in just to see what the fuck we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So if people can do that, then we can change the perception. But we have to be able, like I said, we have to say something that matters to people. We got to be able to reach people where they live. And the truth is how we
saying but it's like saying something that matters doesn't grab our attention.
It doesn't matter.
It don't grab our attention.
Because
the things that do grab our attention are usually destructive.
Right. And we have to alter that perception to change the culture. And that's why we got to
my wife is a God-fearing individual. And when she sticks to her guns about what God does for her and spreads it to other people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She has to deal with, sometimes she has to feel like she has to deal with backlash, like it's counterproductive. So sometimes it could feel like she don't even need to speak, or she should stop speaking. But she ends up staying strong, and continues to release her message to the point where she's like, "Look, I'm doing this just because it works for me."
That's
but
right.
If everybody was to get along with it, you know what I'm saying, it would be more positive. But instead, we're too busy. We're too busy looking at the destructive things. Like, I want to be a part of that.
Right. And what I mean by, and what I say to that is, what we have to do is find 1, 2, or 3 single unifying messages throughout all our communities that connect each and every one of us, whether you live in fucking Compton, California, fucking Dade County, Miami, or Jamaica, Queens. You know what I'm saying? Or Chirac, Illinois. Like, we have to find something that is a unifying message to all of us. And then all of us need to find a way to stick to those guns and bring it forth. You know what I'm saying? And then what a dream of mine would be to establish an entire political party. But that's something else entirely. You know what I mean? What I think for this blackface shit, what I think in that regard, I think that we need to stop, like I said, we need to stop giving a pass to these companies that utilize our images as caricatures of our representation. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy Gucci shit. That shit ugly anyway. Go fucking buy fucking Tim's joint that, or my homegirl Tanisha, she made a dope joint.
This whole blackface Gucci thing should be a complete revolution, to the point where we realize, yo, this shit ain't even necessary. Like, this shit is not even. This shit does not do anything for anybody. Why this shit is not helping us. Like, we should know by now. My nigga Killer Mike did the shit on Netflix, basically laying out, this is exactly what y'all need to do in order to put the black community in a position to where they can start owning their own shit, can start providing for each other. You know what I'm saying? Make our own food. You know what I'm saying? Teach our kids not to just go to school, but learn something. Learn how to build something. Learn how to take care of shit in your house. Learn plumbing, learn electrical shit, because that kind of stuff, as long as real estate is popping, that stuff is always gonna keep food on the table.
But hold on,
they took those programs out of our school, and they just tell us, just work your way up into college, so you can end up paying for college, and then hopefully you can get a job. What kind of shit is that? Like, we don't have to do these things. Then, you know what I'm saying, he bought a nice piece of land and told black people, yo, y'all could turn this into your own shit. Like, basically laid out the entire game plan, like everything that you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's the thing.
Taught the Bloods and the Crips how to trademark themselves. Like y'all built like this y'all built a whole revolution. People want to be a part of Bloods. People want to be a part of Crips just because of who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Forget what they stand for, but you want to be a community. You want to stand, you want to be a brotherhood, you want to stand together. And you could sell and popularize whatever it is that you're doing based off the name alone.
Yes, because look at Snoop Dogg and look at the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at Snoop Dogg and look at the game.
Every rapper, actor ends up feeling like they need to pick one. Blood or Crip.
Right.
As a means of protection. But it's popularized, it's publicized. But this popular thing is a destruction in the Black community, because when I look at it, me and my girl was watching it. They had the whole Cripocola thing, and we was like, yo, if you was walking down the street and you had the Crip bottle and a blood walks past you, they might want to fucking hurt you. And it don't even work like that no more. Like, people don't even look at it like that no more.
But I'll be honest with you.
So psychologically damaged, we'd be like, yo, I'm not buying. I wouldn't even buy no Cripocola and walk around my hood.
Why not?
That's full of Bloods. Or
it might.
Because I swear.
You may not want to do
back to 72. You couldn't. You wear your nice shoes because there's no other reason. I'm going to wear these shoes today. I don't care what y'all try to do to me. I'm going to wear these shoes today. You might even try to rob me, but you know what? I'm ready to fight.
I'm wearing my kicks. But no, it's like I said, it's a matter of. Other than that, it's a matter of. I'm not wearing these shits.
These niggas gonna take my shit.
It's a matter of perception. We have to
I'm not wearing red today.
We have to alter our perception to stop seeing. So what we have to do is, here's what we have to do. We have to start teaching.
This isn't the perfect scenario. This blackface shit isn't the perfect scenario to turn, you know what I'm saying, to change our mindset, to change our direction.
No, because it's not strong enough. It's not powerful enough. What we have, it's not. It's not.
The minute you say boycott, it's obviously something.
We can listen, man. When the last time you said the Pledge of Allegiance? I've boycotted the Pledge of Allegiance since the 3rd fucking grade. Okay, like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's paying attention to that shit. Nobody's calling me a fucking loser because I'm not standing for the flag. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is this: we have to alter our perception to change the community, and for us to do that, what we have to do is start reaching out to people, to the Bloods, to the Crips, to the Latin Kings, and to anybody the fuck else who has some power in their neighborhood. And we need to talk to the OGs, because the OGs is us now too. We may not be with the gang, but we still OGs in the sense that we're the ones who came before these people, and we need to try and lead them into a better path. My man Corn told me, man, follow. Wolves lead. You know what I'm saying? There's always an alpha, and somebody needs to be an alpha in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And for us, we have to get that alpha mentality.
I asked the question. I was like, yo, if you just had $1 million, what would you do?
Right.
And everybody was on this whole it was a very selfish post.
Right, because a lot of people,
everybody's like, yo, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip $1 million into $2 million. I'm gonna buy real estate and do this and do that. And it was like, I didn't see anything. I didn't see
anybody
anything
that said.
I didn't see anything that would that were external. Like I'm gonna spread my wealth. It's just like, yo, I'm gonna take my money and make more money for me and my family, and I'm gonna be good. Like they saying they're gonna be good.
All right, now here's the
thing. There's
thing.
No outsource. You don't even have a desire to outsource.
No, but I understand that. But now let's ask ourselves: is it wrong to want to provide for your family first? Doesn't charity start in the home? Isn't that what they always say? Charity starts in the home. How can I help the poor if I'm one of them? Huh?
What's the identity of poor? Whose family? You're my brother.
You know what I'm saying?
because we're now what I just read, we're both writing books.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And
Now,
the truth is,
I was thinking when I finish writing my book and I do the audio book, I'm not going to put it on Audibles or Google Play or nothing like that. I'm going to open my own website and I'm going to put it up there for people to read it. Now,
right.
if you're my brother, why wouldn't we get websites together? That way we can put our content up there together and you can have more people
I
reading our
agree.
shit.
I agree.
The
But
next
that's
thing,
not
the next thing you know, we can get people investing in our website, fellow blacks, and they can also put their books on up there. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I
Where there's
agree.
where we don't become the middleman to the other man.
Right. And that sounds like a
These are not
fantastic idea.
things that's a fact.
No, but that sounds like a
These are things
fantastic
that's
idea. And I don't see why we shouldn't do something like
it
that.
is.
And what my answer to that question would be, if I had $1 million right now, I guess one of the first things I'd do is look, I can't lie. One of the first things I want to do is make sure that I'm straight. Because I have to make sure that I'm straight. But that's not to say that
You
a
just don't
part of
want to
my
lose $1 million.
goal. But
You're gonna
listen,
do something to make
but
sure
that's
that you
not to
don't
say I
lose $1
can't
million.
take a portion of that money right there and invest it into my neighborhood. It's not to say I can't buy the block that Dolly's is on, every fucking store on that whole block. You know what I'm saying? And then start new businesses there. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say I can't do that or wouldn't want to do that. That's probably something I definitely would want to do. But I'd also definitely want to make sure that I'm okay too. You know what I'm saying? So and also make sure that, you know what, damn, my brother got an album out. My brother Mark, he got an album out. Shit, let's fucking promote that shit. Let's put some distribution behind that some bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take our dollar. Jason, he got the bow tie joint with the fresh lapels and all that. Let's promote that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it out there, because it's important for us to embrace what our people are creating. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for us to
You're
be able
100.
to.
You're 100. You're 100% correct. Because a lot of people, a lot of our friends are doing a lot of shit. And
Yes.
when all they ask for is
Support.
for somebody to contribute with them. That's support
That's right.
them. Somebody contribute. Somebody come in with me.
Right.
Buy with me. I
Right.
bought it. I got a product out here. Now come in with me.
Right.
Like
What's the next step?
with Cappyland Records. Just come in with him. Just
Right.
somebody with some money. Give him some money so he
Right.
can make some more money.
Right. Because I understand his
But what is he going to
frustration.
do with that money?
I
It's very
and that's the
important.
thing.
It's
We have
very
to have
important.
faith. No, because we have to believe in our homie's vision, and we have to be there to support him with it. We got to support Irv with his vision. We have to support Cat with his vision. We have to support Vega with his vision. We have to support Vega. You know what I'm saying? And that means that if we go put our dollars up, that means we want to see returns on it. But at the same time, we also have to push him to do it. You know what I'm saying? We have to make sure that he's on point and he's okay.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. What I just laid out is my biggest problem, yo. It's my biggest issue. It would be like, yo, if I was to get up on Jason's on Jason's juice drink and
right.
start helping his business grow.
Right.
What is he gonna then do with it? Do I trust him? Do I trust him enough to turn my support dollars into more dollars for somebody else, or is he gonna go out and buy a brand new car and a brand new house?
I mean, and that's why I say,
fuck it all
we
up.
have to. I
And
agree with that.
he might return my investment to the point where you know what I'm saying, like he'll take care of me because I took care of him. Not worried about that. But what my mindset was, I'm going to support you because I want you to go far. I want you to go far. I'm going to take my step ladder and give it to you so you could take a step up. But are you going to jump off? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to take your step and add another step for somebody else?
And this is one of those times where I'll say,
I don't think people do that.
But you know what? You have to, because the truth is, here's the thing. When people are conditioned to hear no, it puts a negative outlook on them. But if you actually tell somebody yes, and you show it and prove it, then they have no choice but to do the same for you. You have to put that faith in them, because if you wouldn't put your money up if you didn't believe in them in the first place. So you have to believe in them. And if you believe in them whole stock and lock, stock, and two smoking barrels, then you're going to accept the ride as it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not going, and you got to realize it's always going to be a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to make sure you're checking your homie to make sure that he's doing his job.
It's really a relay race, but is he going to take?
I mean, to a degree, certainly, but it's still a marathon.
And run
it's
home.
Still a marathon. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to be able to be patient. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you have to have faith in that person. But if you wouldn't have faith in them if you didn't want to put your money up anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize that your perception
that's not why I got in. I got in because that's my man's.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to support my people.
Whatever your reasoning is.
I'm trying to show my brother. I'm trying to show my brother support. This is all we.
Right,
all we end up asking for. We ask our brothers, yo, just support me, me, and take me and help me get to the next level. That's cool. That's great. But what are you going to do with your next level?
That's why he has to have somebody positive in his ear.
Why is that a mystery though?
It's not. It's what it is again.
It is a mystery.
It's not, because again, this is where you come into play. Because while he's doing his job, you have to do yours, and your job as an investor in his shit is to make sure that he stays on task. You know what I'm saying? And once you realize what the next step is going to be, that's what you get to. That's what you work towards. And once you get there, what's the next goal? You get to that. Once you get there, what's the next goal? You get to that. You have to have a clear goal set in mind, but you also have to recognize that people are people. They're individuals. People have problems. People have issues. Sometimes people go through shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people suffer setbacks. Shit happens. You may lose out 1,000 times, but that one time it may be the one thing that fucking does it for you. You know what I'm saying? And we have to alter our perceptions for being so negative, automatically looking for the other shoe to drop and for the negative to rear its head, and just think positive, because the more positive energy you put out there, the more positive returns you're going to get back on that energy. So you have to be more positive about it. You can't automatically take the pessimistic view. You have to. This is where I always say objectivity allows for the best decision, because you get both sides of the equation and are still able to walk a straight path of your own with knowledge of both. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to see things from either side and see the positive and the negative. But you can't allow the positive or the negative to solely influence your view. You know what I'm saying? You have to allow both to be able to, and you have to allow both to be able to get into your mind so that you can see how to make a proper decision. And so what I'll say is, if you want to get in with your boy on the juice game, do it. But always keep in mind the positives and the negatives of what could happen and make your decisions from there. But you have to be smart. And that's why I say, how many people are informed? You know what I'm saying? What do you know about the company you want to invest in? Where did it start? Who runs it? Where did they get their business degree? Or do they even have a business degree? I ain't gonna lie. I don't care if you have a business degree.
That's what they ask us.
Of course.
That's what they ask us when we want their dollars to push our shit. That's the questions that they ask us. We not supposed to ask these questions about.
We have to circumvent that.
Just like, yo, I'm here. Like, yo, dog, I'm here. I'm doing something. Right. Get in and get in now. I don't worry about my portfolio.
I'm gonna worry about your portfolio. I'm gonna worry about it.
Trust me, I did my homework and it's here. The product is right here. Get in and get in now. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that cracker shit.
No. See, that's an uninformed decision. And what that leads to is your downfall. That's what happens to Napster. That's how Napster falls. That's how MySpace goes down.
It's not an uninformed decision. This is this is the brainwash, because we feel like we have to go through that in order to support our brothers and sisters.
I mean, I want to make an informed decision. I want to make an informed decision on where on what I spend my money on.
Nah, you don't make an informed decision. You make a decision. You should be making a decision based on your brotherhood. If your kid came to you, if your kid came to you and was like, "Yo, Dad, I'm starting a cookie business. I need such and such amount of dollars in order to get it started." Are you gonna tell your kid no?
No, what I'm gonna tell my kid is I'm gonna ask my kid, all right, well, what's your plan?
You're gonna ask all these questions. You're gonna ask your kid all these questions.
You're damn right. You're damn right, because if he's not informed enough to be able to tell me how he's gonna do it, I can't be informed enough to want to give him the money. And I remember my mom's asking me the same type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, what are you gonna do with it? How are you gonna do it? My grandma's the same way.
Don't worry about how I'm gonna do it. It's a dream.
No,
it's a dream.
But your dream.
I thought about this shit. I thought about this shit while I was sleeping, and then I made it.
All right, that's cool. But what is your dream?
Help me take it to the next level. I don't gotta build you a PowerPoint plan of how I did the shit. I may not want to make things more difficult.
I may not want a PowerPoint presentation, but I certainly want a well thought out plan, because if it's not a well thought out plan, or at least even a half thought out plan, it's going to fail.
It's not a thought out plan. It's made. They made it. Your kid made cookies. Your kid had cookies. He learned how to make a cookie on his own and made you a cookie and said, "Boom, here's I got the ingredients that I told."
Is the cookie good?
How I made it.
Is the cookie good? Is it better than what's on the market? Is it better than Chips Ahoy?
All you need to do is just taste it. Don't let me. You don't need no PowerPoint presentation. Just taste the cookie. Do you like it? Good. Help me.
And now that is an informed decision that I can get behind. However, you're still my kid, and I still want to make sure you're protected. So, I want to make sure? Did you wash your hands before you put your hands on this shit? Did you drop some of the dough on the floor and 5-second rule that shit?
What makes you think I didn't wash my hands when I made this? See, these are the questions that the white man asks, and this is why we can't get nowhere.
Because I know statistically that only about 40% wash their hands when leaving a bathroom.
Of course they didn't wash their hands when they made the cookie. They just made the cookie.
Then that's nasty. That's gross. You got boogers on your cookies.
Your grandma.
You got boogers in your cookies.
Nobody washed their hands before they made your Thanksgiving dinner. Your Thanksgiving dinner was made on nasty hands.
That's bullshit.
That's
bullshit. I wash my hands. I wash my hands.
And look, I wash my hands too, but not every time. And the shit still come out good.
Oh no.
You don't wash your hands every time. You don't wash your hands 24/7.
I certainly
Everybody
do,
should be
sir.
washing their hands all the time. Yes, people should be washing their hands all the time. And that's my biggest pet peeve. But I know for a fact, people don't be washing their hands when they're supposed to all the time.
I mean, I tend to wash my hands anytime I touch a bathroom surface.
It's a figment of our imagination. You just hope and pray that this person has the decency enough to wash their hands before they start making your food.
I want to hope and pray. I want you to wash your hands.
You didn't grill the person like, yo, all right, I'm about to cook. Let me see you wash your hands, motherfucker.
I will. I'll do that shit like, yo, did you just come out the bathroom?
No, you like, yo,
I ain't hear no water run, nigga.
All right, cool.
I ain't hear no water run.
See you in half an hour. I see you in half an hour. My nigga, go
I
ahead
don't
and make
listen.
that food. You ain't gotta wash your hands. I'm hungry.
Fuck that. You better go wash your hands with some Dawn. I don't give a shit. You better wash them in the kitchen sink. Run the hose on them. I don't give a shit. But you better put some moisture on your hands.
Put some water on yourself.
But no, but we got to matter. But as far as this blackface, we know it's wrong, and we can try and find the humor in it, because that's what we always going to do. We got to try and find humor in everything. But the truth is, this is a disrespectful. This is a disrespectful thing from Gucci, Prada, whoever's gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we have to take a long, hard look at who and what we spend our dollars on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I,
Master
you know,
Master P just made some clothes called Money Yachty or some shit like that, and you know they look bootleg, but realistically, it's not that bad.
I'm being honest with you.
That?
Do you remember the Starberries? Do you remember Stephon Marbury's kicks? I had a bunch of pairs of them shits. I had a bunch of pairs of Starberries.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad.
You didn't want to play no ball in them. I mean, you didn't want to get on the court.
Yeah, you can play ball in those.
I wouldn't recommend that.
See, there you go. See,
I tried. It didn't work, man. It didn't go well.
I play ball in church shoes. I can play ball with Starberries once or twice, and they're only $20. I can go out and buy another pair.
15. They weren't even 20. It was 15.
If they wear out, I can go buy another pair.
You know what?
If I buy a pair of Nikes, if I buy a pair of Nikes when they first come out, and it's just $150, I'm playing in them shits for 3 years, easy.
Right, definitely, no question. I'm gonna have them shits for like a lifetime until them die. But now here's the thing, and I'm gonna be dead honest. It may not have been the shoes as to what fucked up. I just don't play basketball very well, so maybe that was just me. I'm not very good at it. It wasn't the shoes. It wasn't the shoes. It was me.
But I get your point. It's like, yo, I'm not gonna play ball in them because they probably weren't constructed very well. And like the remade Jordans, everybody be like, yo, don't play ball. You don't play ball in those Jordans. You only play ball in Jordans that Nike made because they are
quality.
They're officially made to play basketball in. But those shits still took like $30 to make. Jordans might not have took $15 to make, but Nike only took $30 to make their shoes. It didn't take no crazy shit to make those shoes.
But you still can do much.
You can do anything in anything. These clothes are not worn. Like, we have an explanation for why we wear certain shit. Like, oh, I'm wearing this shit because it looks good. I'm wearing this shit because it makes me look rich. I'm wearing this because blah, blah, blah. But it's really just clothes.
That's all it is.
I took pride in telling people, yo, I got this shirt. I got this shirt right here for $7. $7. This shirt is probably will probably gain me more attention than any Gucci or anything that I wear because it's iconic images on the shirt, but it's just a shirt.
Right.
It's not going to define me. It might get people to look at me.
Right. And that's the thing. I think
now you're looking at me. Now you're looking at me, right? Then you're looking at me. Now what are you looking at?
Right. What's your judgment based on what I'm wearing?
What's the more important? No, not what you're looking at. Like, who am I?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what I'm saying. What is your judgment?
Who are you? What do you do?
What is the judgment that you're going to have?
What do you bring to the people? No, I'm just here to get bitches. I'm just trying to get bitches to look at me. I'm a big dick nigga that's trying to get bitches. Oh, that's all. Oh, that's all you are. Moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's shallow, but it's honest.
The people that are gaining attention aren't doing anything with their attention. And so to the point where we're looking at all the wrong people. We're looking at all the wrong people for all the wrong reasons.
And I think that a certain subset dictate to our people what's popular, but that's media. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we put on is popular across the globe. No matter what, hip hop sells everything.
The things that are promoted by white dollars. So then you turn around and you call that shit Illuminati.
Right. And that's just the Illuminati. That's a whole different conversation.
The white dollar is determining what the black people are going to do.
Right.
So when is the black dollar going to tell the black people what they need to do? Or do we even have black dollars? Do we have black dollars for that?
Well, think about it like this.
When is T.I. said this nigga said he spent 7 figures on Gucci a year. Right. Not he spent $7 million in total throughout his entire career. Right, every year he spends millions of dollars on Gucci. What, like, is that enough for advertising? Is that enough for black advertising? You gonna turn that money into something for real?
I would think so. Else? I would think so. Certainly.
I know the niggas in jail now. He can't do nothing. But Tekashi was running around here looking like a fucking millionaire. And no, I don't think he really was a millionaire, but he had a lot of fucking money. But was he gonna turn that money into the fucking Spanish community? Is Cardi B doing anything for somebody else? With all the money that she's been handed to, like, she ain't worked for that shit.
Honestly, I don't know.
She got handed all this money. She's got handed all this money. She's gonna hand that shit right back to them. What's she gonna
I can't lie. Cardi B strikes me as the type of person that'll buy Sue's Rendezvous. She strikes me as the type of person that'll buy the strip club. She'll buy Sin City and run them shits like with mad respect to women. Like, honestly, I think she strikes me as that person, which is not a bad idea, honestly. Not a bad idea.
She's really not the enemy if you look at it. But
like, no, I love Cardi B.
As far as speaking her mind, she speaks her mind directly for the hood. She's never wavered from that.
Yes, she does.
I give her credit for
that. And that's probably why I like Cardi B so much, because she's very opinionated.
But it's all talk. I don't care what people say. I really don't care what people say. When people ask for a boycott, I don't care. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking? When people talk, I don't listen. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
Right, but like, we're not the people she's talking to.
When people on social media, I don't give a fuck what y'all saying on here. I don't give a fuck what people are commenting about. I don't care if somebody has a problem with a picture that I put up and stuff like that, because all you're doing is talking. Right. What are y'all niggas doing? Like, what are y'all doing for me? What are y'all doing to me? Y'all niggas not doing nothing to me.
Right, but here's the difference, right? Cardi B doesn't speak to us. She's speaking to a younger generation, to people who are influenced by her. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say there's brand influencers. She's a influencer, and for people, she influences. So if Cardi B politics, that's getting more and more people into the politics. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, a lot of people didn't know about a government shutdown, so Cardi B said something about it, which is both sad and amazing at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, I think we have to be more informed. We have to be more informed.
Streets, is that what we're really worried about out here?
Listen, we got to remember something, man. The streets are good for some of us, but not all of us. You know what I'm saying? And what we have to realize is everybody plays a part in their ecosystem. That's why there's such a thing as a food chain. You know what I'm saying? But everybody plays a part in the ecosystem. The hustler has a place in the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? The pimp has a place in the ecosystem. The hoe has a place in the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a part to play in their ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? But we have to look at each other as a symbiotic relationship and stop looking down on those who don't look, act, or think like we do. It's okay to have different opinions. And it's okay to have different ideas. But what we have to start doing is trying to find compromise. And once we can do that, that'll be the gift of objectivity. And once you have compromise, then we can move forward as a community. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we don't all have to agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? We do not. We also don't have to believe in the same shit. We don't have to worship the same way or eat the same or any of that. But we have to find a unifying message.
Yes, we do. We need to start believing in the same shit. We need to start believing in the same shit. We need to start spreading the same message. We need to start agreeing with each other.
That's what I'm saying. We have to find a unifying message. A unifying message. Something that no matter what we can all adhere to. And I think a first part of that has to be self-respect. We have to have more self-respect for ourselves. Because the minute we start walking around with more self-respect for ourselves, people will take notice. You know what I'm saying? You ever notice that the person who walks in the room with the most confidence is the one that everybody looks to?
Mm-hmm.
That's self-respect. You know what I'm saying? You may not be a really good person, but you have self-respect. You know what I'm saying? We have to find that level of self-respect for ourselves and stop
then
looking
you
down
demand
on
it,
each
then you
other for the
demand it from others.
trivialities of what we experienced today. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, I don't know one person in my life who hasn't been hungry some night. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, it's okay to admit that. You know what I'm saying? And if you've never known struggle, damn it, I don't know what to do for you, because I genuinely believe that you need some struggle in your life in order to know how to persevere. And then once you learn how to persevere, you know how to excel. You know what I'm saying? So we have to learn. We have to develop that mentality into people. Just to be frank.
All
Shameless
right, we're gonna
plug.
close. We're gonna close. We're gonna close. We're gonna close. We're gonna close this here.
Yeah.
We're gonna close. That was a
Shameless
nice
plug.
little exit right there. I'll leave it at
Word.
that.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to close the show. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to close the show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trevor Noah.
We can never close. We can never close this shit. We can never close it. It just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We start this shit. It can go for 24 hours.
You know what I want to talk
if
about
they
next time? Honestly, I want to talk about vaccinations, because I don't believe in that shit. Vaccinations. I don't believe in vaccinations. I think they're dangerous, but there are a lot of people who disagree with me.
I would like for you to. I would like for you to come up to come to me with these things. Great. Right. We'll talk about vaccinations next.
Talk about vaccinations. Perfect. Yes, do some research. All right. I don't know, but we'll figure out how we do this. And till next time, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure.
Till next time. All right, brother. Love you, man.
I love you too, brother.
we don't agree to disagree on that. I love you, brother.
There you go. I love you. Word out. That's an agreement. Pull it off. I love you, brother. Word out. One.
Love you too, man.